Buongiorno, buon pomeriggio, and buonasera, Lazio world. Welcome to our instant reaction pod. I'm your host, Sean McIntosh, here with my good friend, Stevie, to chat Lazio, Cagliari. Phew, Stevie got away with one there, and here we are, 3 wins in a row in Serie A, 4 in all comps. Last time you were on, a week ago, you're my midweek specialist, or what, a little over a week ago, and we talked about how important this stretch was and what we wanted to see, point totals, and maybe where we wanted to end. We're 2 out of 2 in this really important stretch. How are you feeling after this crazy match?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling quite wonderful because I'm normally realistic or pessimistic, but a lot of Lazio supporters, really believe that we would just handle our business, so to speak, and that's exactly what Baroni's team has done, despite the rotation.
Well, we're not accustomed to seeing us handle business, and particularly against sides that we often overlook or we assume 3 points. You mentioned a little bit of rotation, and there was, just looking at our starting 11. You see Pellegrini, not because of necessarily a manager selection, but Nuno serving his suspension in this one. Romagnoli back in the 11, paired with Gila. Lazzari to his right. Rovella back from injury in his rightful place, paired next to Guendouzi. We see Noslin once again at that left wing position for Zaccagni, who we'll talk about, but is back. And Dia sitting behind Tati, and on your right, Isaacson, and of course, the man in goal, Provedel. This one got off to such a quick start. You blink and Lazio is up 1-0 with Dia scoring. Just good instincts to pounce on a really, really poor goalkeeping error from Cagliari. Pellegrini with the free kick, and Dia is there to pounce. And really, from that moment, it's some chances from Lazio here and there. There's some players that are lively, but then in the 41st minute, we're thinking we're going to go into half with a 1-0 lead, and here we are, and you see a really, really unfortunate deflection that sees Cagliari level it 1-1 going into half. Some thoughts about whether or not this was going to be another one of those games. But coming out of halftime, Baroni makes a sub, Vecino for Noslin, and eventually Zaccagni finds his way onto the pitch, and Pellegrini earns a penalty. And Zaccagni, calm, cool, collected, makes no mistake about it, converts to give Lazio the 2-1 lead, and we see 2 minutes later an epic collapse from Cagliari. 2 players sent off, double yellows, double reds, and from there you see really just a professional end to the match from Lazio. A couple chances, but really, it was clear that they were just trying to see that one out and march on with the 3 points. So, Stevie, your 3 words or less to describe this one. What do you got?
Rotation, resilience, results.
That's the tale of this Lazio side this season so far. So I like it.
Yeah, because when they were fortunate to equalize, you have to think, oh man, this is going to be one of those days. We dominated the play without really creating too many chances. When he made the substitution at halftime, I was trying to figure out what's happening. It seemed like I didn't know how comfortable Dia was on the left. I didn't know how comfortable Guendouzi or Vicino were, playing in the 10. So, yeah, sometimes you have to be lucky also. And I thought that if we don't have Rovella in this match, we don't win this match. I thought he completely controlled this match. I don't want to give you a big head or anything, but just unbelievable performance. Really unbelievable performance. I wish he would have got that shot on target on the edge of the box, because it would have just been the complete performance. But no, I thought he was wonderful. You talk about our biggest goal creator, Nuno Tavares, not being available. Well, what does Pellegrini do? He wins the penalty, and he gets, I guess, we call it an assist. Yeah.
No,
You know,
no. I mean,
he takes
again,
the.
you should. Yeah,
Mhm.
should.
No. But
Yeah.
so he was very impactful, and man, he plays for the shirt. This is just such a fun team to watch.
Yeah. No, it is. My three words on this one really, I had two, both the same sentiment. I had either 2 minute turnaround or Cagliari collapse quick, and it really was one of those matches where you start to get nervy because it's clear, again, another match where Lazio is the better side, should walk out of this with 3 points, but given what's happened to us in the past and had all the makings for one of those ones where a deflection or a corner at the end of a match or something silly would come back to bite us, and you walk away with your head down for what could have been. But really, I mean, it was 2 minutes of turnaround. It was, but Lazio had their effect on the match in its entirety and was the better side. But that 2 minutes between Pellegrini winning the penalty, Zaccagni converting, and then the double reds, case closed. We could breathe just a little bit after that. But when you look at the stats on this one, I mean, again, the case is made, not just what your eyes were seeing, but 54% possession for Lazio, 2.65 expected goals to Cagliari's 0.24. Another bit of frustration that we walk away without a clean sheet given the expected goals for our opponent. But again, it's good. It's good to have that very low expected goals. Nothing you can do about a deflection. 20 total shots from Lazio to Cagliari 6. 5 of those on target. 4 big chances. A couple big chances missed, but no big chances conceded. Again, Lazio in the attack, on defense, mostly a complete performance. You just wish you kind of buried a couple of those others to make that score line look a little bit nicer. But here we are in a match that sees Lazio continue to go toe to toe with those teams around them. So following this one, you've got now in terms of a live look at the table, Lazio on 22 points, 11 matches played. They're tied for third in the table. Atalanta, Fiorentina also on 22. Inter in second with 24. Napoli having dropped points over the weekend at 25. Juve sitting below us at 21 points. I mean, Stevie, what do you think if I tell you, before the season, 11 matches into it, this is our place in the table? What would you have thought?
I mean, the points are the points. Yes, it maybe would have been a surprise. I thought we would be closer to, sixth or seventh in the table than what are we? Tied for third or fifth. But the thing that stands out for me is that, every match that we've won, we've deserved to win. And in the matches that we've dropped points, probably deserved a little bit more from, other than the Udinese match. So, that tells me that we've not been lucky, and maybe we'll have some luck, in the second and third parts of the season.
Yeah.
And you can't say enough about just the spirit. I was talking to some non-Lazio fans, but fans of Calcio the other day, and they said, "Oh man, maybe Lazio is a dark horse for the fourth spot." And this was right after Rovella had been ruled out of the match on the weekend, and I just thought to myself, "No, because we seem very thin in certain positions, like why he continues to play Tati every minute, and that, that Rovella spot, maybe in the end it'll come to haunt us. But, we're very entertaining. It's fun to watch, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy because you see the teams like Juve and Milan playing so average. Roma, complete dumpster fire. And so most years you say that and you expect, well, Lazio must be top 2 or 3, right? And of course this play and the results come at the same time that Atalanta and Fiorentina are both seeing that same type of a season. I mean, both those sides playing really, really well. I mean, having what I think they are all on like 5-game or more win streaks. So there's a couple other teams that are playing really, really well, and it's a fun Serie A season to start because you see some teams that are making challenges of what you would have thought maybe was Inter as a clear top dog, but anything but the case right now. Talk to me a little bit about the players that stood out, because I have a few that I really, really liked tonight. So trying to land on who my man of the match was, because I thought there were a couple really underrated players that maybe wouldn't have otherwise gotten a ton of love. What'd you think?
Yeah, I highlighted Rovella and Pellegrini earlier. Those were my top two. I would give it to Rovella. I thought Tati played great, despite not having the goal. His effort just creates so many opportunities. Uh, let's see. I didn't think the team as a whole was sharp.
Yeah.
And that worries me for Thursday when we, play arguably our toughest team in the Europa League.
Yeah, I think though it says a lot, right? That we weren't at our sharpest, and you still walk out of there with 3 points, and you were the clear top team, right? It was not one of those where like we escaped with 3 points. We were lucky to get 3 points. It was no, we were the better team. Like should have cleaned some things up. Wish we had finished some chances, but make no mistake, Lazio the deserved winners here, despite not being really, really sharp. But I think, yeah, you mentioned Rovella, loved obviously Pellegrini winning that pen, another player who we wanted to see more and more of last year, and I just scratched my head every time he was buried on the bench, not understanding right why he wasn't getting opportunities more than a capable Serie A player, and he's showing that this year. I really, really loved what I saw from Tati today. Really loved because that what he has done today and all season. Really, you think about a player that in the 92nd minute, right, he is sprinting, long run. Unfortunate that a keeper makes a save, but then I think about the 94th minute, what he does. This is the two sides of him. Of course, he's running in attack, and you want to see him score. But in the 94th minute, Zaccagni has a really poor clearance, and the ball's still in Lazio territory, and the player fighting to go to the ball to win the ball is Tati. And so much activity in attack, and he was in great positions. A lot of time, maybe not the perfect service. I was hoping he could bag one from a header, and I just thought, it was a really good performance from him, and Caleb jumping on saying, I can't believe Sean has become a Tati believer. Yeah, look, like I said, I'm always going to try and be fair with criticism and with praise too. And I think Tati is absolutely deserved it, because in a match where he could have put his head down, got a little frustrated, or maybe he, a lot of players would have been selfish in trying to hunt for a goal, and he was still very unselfish that entire match. So really, I'll say I agree that Rovella probably like the best player, but for me today, I'm giving my man of the match to Tati, because that fight, just you felt it with everybody on the team. And if you don't have a player like him fighting like that, I don't know if we walk away with all 3 points. So I really loved his attitude But even a guy like Dia, I thought early in the match was really active. Obviously, he has a goal, but I just thought he was a lot more lively, and he probably faded towards the second half. But the consistency of a Rovella and Tati right now, I just really, really, really loved it. On the flip, who is her bidone? I've got Patrick Bowman on here had kind of thrown out a couple players on YouTube for himself. He kind of dubs Lazzari as his bidone. Didn't think, or he thought, in terms of players that did well, maybe Isaacson. He also had Rovella as his man of the match. What do you think about the bidone? Who underperformed for you?
I didn't think Lazzari had a great match, and every, Lazzari attempt at an assist, makes you realize how fortunate we are with Nuno. But for me, it was Noslin. He was very languid, a bit of a passenger. I didn't think he would come off at halftime, but he seemed very clumsy. Also, picked up a needless yellow card, and then when he came off, I had memories of Simo Inzaghi, right, pulling somebody off immediately when they have a yellow card. So, yeah, I didn't think Guendouzi had a good match either.
Yeah, mine was Noslin. Look, I mean, needless yellow, no chances created. He was kind of poor with his touches. Only one attempted dribble, wasn't successful with it. Largely invisible. And now, to be fair, he didn't get a second half. He didn't get a second half to change that narrative. Frank on YouTube agrees with you with the Guendouzi shout as a bidone. I agree. Wasn't a good match from him, but because Noslin really had no moments, was subbed off, and obviously saw that the team was able to turn it around when he was off. For me, he's my bidone. So tell me now, we've got a weekend off here, or no, we don't. It's 3 days. Here we are already, the 4th. We've got 3 days for Porto. Yeah, and we do have Sunday Monza. Yep. So how do you approach these two matches with Porto and now it's 3 matches essentially in a week? Are you going all out for Porto, knowing that we're top of the table? Do you want to keep that form in Europa, or do you conserve and really focus on Serie A and the table? With Monza, who is in a relegation battle, but maybe our friend Nesta can help us out a little bit. How do you approach these two ahead?
Yeah, I think maybe one of the reasons the team is playing so well, despite all of the rotation, is because they've all been given an opportunity. And I think that contributes to the team spirit. So I would continue with the Thursday rotations, even though, Porto at home is a tough match, and sort of keep the weekend team the same.
Yeah, I would agree.
If it ain't broke,
don't fix it. No, that's fair. I would say, though, at some point, unless it keeps working, it will be interesting to see. I guess that'll truly be the test of Baroni, is that if we go deep into that tournament, does he continue with the guys that got him there, or does he find himself switching to a top lineup? And I know he's gone on record to say we've got 22 starters. So he'll at some point, hopefully, will have to test that ideology, right? Like there's going to be a moment where you'll understand or see who his starters are if we find ourselves in a cup final or semifinal or in Coppa Italia, where we're deep into that tournament. So, we'll see which side ultimately he chooses. But yeah, big one here. I guess the demand now is to walk out of this run of Serie A matches with a full slate of points. I mean, anything less at this point with Monza at kind of the end of this run. Well, you've got Bologna is going to be a much stronger test, but you kind of have to hope that we finish it all. Am I being greedy here?
Well, I think Bologna is after the international break. Yeah,
It is. Yep.
I haven't looked too far ahead. Are you being greedy? Of course, but that's what a fan does, right? No, no. Again, I would focus. I think the focus has to be on the Monza match only because the league is so tight. You look at even the bottom. I looked at it before our match today, and the between 14th and 20th, the difference is only 1 point. So, yeah, the league is top heavy, bottom heavy. Who knows? The way the UEFA Cup is nowadays, it almost seems as if, I mean, we probably already have 1 foot in the next round. I know that we want to finish in the first eight. If you finish in the first eight, do you skip like a playoff? Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, it's I mean that's critical because for us like we've got to play fewer games. We have to any chance to eliminate a round or two. Like yeah,
I don't know. We've been so much fun to watch on Thursdays. Do I want to miss it?
I know, but man, I think we've talked. Obviously, we feel good about the rotation, but we're still a squad that is light. Forget the depth, or the quality of the depth, but like just numbers wise, we still, hoping for some incoming players in January, which I know is stupid to hope for, but we'll see if maybe Lotito can do what he did differently last year and maybe reward Baroni with a regalo for the holidays.
We'll
Well,
see.
we'll see. I know I'm being greedy now, but this was good. Lazio in tremendous form. We want to see more and more of them because we're looking forward to it. Our friend Caleb will be back for Sunday to cover. I'll be here on Thursday. My midweek warrior Stevie may be joining us again, but I'll be off on Sunday, so Caleb will be on it either alone or with a co-host. My club, the Las Vegas Lights, are in the playoffs. We advanced out of the first round, so I'll be traveling to New Mexico for our road match on Sunday, or traveling back to Vegas from that. So fingers crossed, we'll be marching on in our own tournament. So, but